There comes a moment in every life when the winds howl louder than our own voices. A moment when the losses pile like winter snow, heavy, cold, and cruel. In these moments, when your arms are empty and your heart bears the bruises of disappointment, you may wonder if joy will ever find you again. You may sit in silence, holding the memory of what once was, asking the heavens, will I ever recover what I have lost? But my dear, hear this now, and let it settle deep in your soul. God will restore all you have lost, not because the world is fair, not because people are always kind, but because there is a truth older than sorrow and deeper than the valley of despair. That truth is divine restoration. The hands that formed the stars, the voice that called mountains to rise, and the breath that stirred life into dust. Those same hands are crafting a return for you. Not a return to what was, but a return to what was meant to be. There are losses that change the shape of your life. A parent gone too soon, a dream deferred, a child lost to the storm. A betrayal so sharp it cleaved your soul in two. You've known the ache of prayers unanswered, the silence after goodbyes, the hollow feeling that nothing will ever be enough again. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still rising. You see, the enemy of your soul hoped the losses would finish you, that they would reduce you to shadows and silence. But what the darkness didn't count on was the light in you, that flicker of defiant hope, that ember of dignity, that sacred resilience. It refused to go out. And that refusal is your resurrection song. You were not created to be defeated. You were formed for redemption. Restoration is not just possible, it is promised. And not only in heaven's time, but in your time. For we serve a God who walks with us in the ashes and speaks life into dry bones. When he restores, he does not merely return what was taken. He renews. The road you have walked was not paved in ease. It was carved through hardship, injustice, and tears that only the angels counted. But every loss you suffered, every tear you shed, every night you stayed awake, wondering why, it was not wasted. Your pain was not in vain. It was planted. And oh, what beauty grows from the soil of suffering. What strength rises from a soul tested by fire. You are not less because of what you lost. You are more.
Wiser. Closer to the truth that can only be found in the pit before the promise. Let me speak to the heart that feels overlooked.
You who gave your love to someone who could not hold it. You who poured your energy into a dream that crumbled in your hands. You who prayed and waited and trusted, only to watch the door close anyway. Your story is not over. The loss was real, but so is the comeback. There is a time and season for everything under heaven. A time to lose and a time to gain. A time to break and a time to mend. The same God who allowed the breaking is the one who will bring the blessing. He never leaves you in the middle of the storm without a purpose for the rain. And when the clouds clear, as they always do, you will see the seeds that were quietly growing in your darkness. You may not see it yet, but heaven has already scheduled your restoration. It is written in a language no enemy can decode, signed by a hand that never fails. You think your best days are behind you? You think your joy has passed its prime? Oh no, my dear, your best days are not behind. They are ahead. Your joy is being compounded in silence. Your future is pregnant with promise. You are not forgotten. Heaven has not gone blind to your suffering. God has counted your losses like jewels, and he is fashioning a crown from every single one. It may not arrive in the way you expect, but it will arrive. The joy will return. The peace will flood in like a river after drought. The love you long for will find you again, not as a consolation prize, but as a miracle formed from your tears. Your life has not been a waste. You are not a collection of missed chances and broken pieces. You are a living, breathing testament of grace. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every wrinkle on your brow, a line of wisdom. Every gray strand, a thread of glory. You have walked through fire and still carry the scent of heaven. What you have lost has made room for what is coming. Sometimes God has to strip us down to build us up. Sometimes the blessing is not in what we gained, but in what we endured. You thought the door closed on your future, but it was just the hallway to a better one. You thought you lost your worth, but you were being refined like gold. There will be days when you still cry. That's all right. Cry and cry. Let the sorrow flow through you, but do not pitch a tent in your grief. You are allowed to feel it, but you are not meant to live there. For there is a time to mourn and a time to dance, and your dance is coming. You will rise. You will laugh again with a depth that only the broken can know. For the broken can know. You will stand tall, not in spite of your pain, but because of it. Because when God restores, he does it with purpose. He brings back what was stolen, and then some. He makes the years the locusts have eaten into years of plenty. He turns mourning into morning. Look in the mirror. You may not recognize the reflection anymore, but look deeper. Do you see it? That light, that strength, that divine resilience pulsing in your bones? That is the evidence of restoration already beginning. You are being rebuilt, brick by holy brick. Your tears are mixing with mortar that no storm can undo. The world may not have seen your silent battles. They may not understand your quiet strength, but the heavens have witnessed every moment, and the heavens have declared, restoration is your portion. There is no loss too great for God to redeem, no mistake too dark for grace to cover, no failure too final for hope to rise. You are not disqualified by what you've been through. You are qualified by it. You are not broken beyond repair. You are broken open so the light can shine through. And oh, how it shines. So go ahead, begin again. Pick up your pieces, not as fragments of failure, but as materials for a masterpiece. Walk forward, not in shame, but in dignity. Speak your truth, not with bitterness, but with boldness. You are not who you used to be, and that is a beautiful thing. The past has shaped you, but it does not define you. Restoration means you get to rewrite the ending. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where the light breaks through. This is where healing becomes visible. This is where the love you gave returns tenfold. This is where the job you lost makes way for purpose. This is where the relationship that broke your heart makes room for one that honors it. This is where the God who saw you in the shadows brings you into the spotlight, not for vanity, but for testimony. You are living proof that what tried to bury you did not succeed, that what was meant to destroy you has only deepened your roots. You will bloom, not despite the loss, but because of it. Because of it, pain is fertile ground for miracles. Trust that your time is near. Do not look back with despair. Look forward with anticipation. Restoration is on the horizon. Keep walking, keep breathing, keep trusting. Because what's coming is not just recovery, it's glory. Not just return, it's resurrection. And when it arrives, oh beloved, you will understand. You will say, it was worth it. Every loss, every tear, every lonely night, it was all leading here. God will restore all you have lost. And when he does, your cup will overflow, not just with what you had, but with what you never dared to dream. And you will walk in a joy that makes no sense, in a peace that passes understanding, and a love that reaches beyond the grave. So, rise, not as the person who was broken, but as the one who is being rebuilt. Rise, not as a victim of loss, but as a vessel of restoration. Rise and reclaim your life, not as it was, but as it was always meant to be. You are more than your past. You are more than your pain. You are the promise fulfilled. The testimony unfolding, the restoration in motion. And this time it is yours to keep. And as you walk the path of restoration, know that it is not a straight line. It curves, dips, and rises like a river winding its way home. You may stumble along the way, fall to your knees with questions only God can answer. But even on your knees, you are still moving forward. Even in your tears, progress is happening. There is a sacred rhythm to restoration, and it often begins when all seems lost. What you feel as delay is often divine preparation. What you call denial may be divine direction. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are not being left behind, you are being led. There is power in the wait. The waiting room of life may feel like silence, but it is the workshop of heaven. In the waiting, strength is forged. In the waiting, your character is shaped. In the waiting, your soul stretches to hold the blessings to come. Sometimes God withholds not because he is cruel, but because he loves you too much to give you something unripe. What is meant for you must arrive in its fullness, and you must be prepared to receive it. Do not despise the quiet seasons. They are sacred. They are where the whispers of God become clearer. In the noise of success, we often miss his voice. But in the stillness of sorrow, in the hush of heartbreak, we hear the divine most clearly. He is not far from the brokenhearted. He is closest when you feel most abandoned. And though the world may have walked away, heaven draws near. There will be people who cannot understand your journey, who look at your restoration and question your worthiness. Your testimony is not for them to approve, It is for those who need to see that survival is possible. You are the evidence that life can grow in barren places, that beauty can rise from ashes, that God still moves mountains. And when you begin to feel joy again, and you will do not feel guilty, do not question its arrival. Joy is not a betrayal of your grief, it is the fruit of your healing. It is the mark of resurrection. Let it in. Let it dance within you. Let it remind you that you are not buried. You are planted, and something magnificent is growing. Your identity is not in what you've lost, it's in what you carry. You carry the strength of endurance, the beauty of resilience, the wisdom of experience. You carry stories in your bones, poems in your scars, and fire in your spirit. You are more radiant now than ever, not because you avoided the storm, but because you faced it again. There will come a day when you look back and see the fingerprints of God on every chapter of your story, even the painful ones. You will realize that what the enemy meant for harm, God used for good. You will see how the closed doors led you to better ones, how the betrayals redirected you toward truth, how the endings made room for beginnings so divine they could only be heaven sent. You will stop chasing what is not meant for you. You will stop trying to make broken things whole when they were never yours to fix. You will walk with a peace that says, what is mine will come, what is meant to stay will remain, and what leaves was never meant to hold me. That peace is part of your restoration. And when the world questions your joy, point them to the fire you walked through. Let them see the soot on your feet and the song still in your mouth. Let them know that restoration did not come cheaply. It was birthed through warfare, through nights of weeping, through mornings of empty arms and unanswered questions. Your joy was not handed to you, it was fought for. And that makes it whole. Sometimes restoration doesn't mean the return of what you lost. It means the arrival of something better. Sometimes it's not the same relationship, but a deeper one. Not the same job, but a purpose that makes your spirit come alive. Not the same house, but a home filled with peace. What's coming will not just replace, it will elevate. Trust that you are being led even when you feel lost. There is a wisdom in the wilderness, a purpose in the pause, a miracle in the mess. God does not abandon what he begins. If he started restoration in you, he will complete it. And when he does, it will be evident to all. Your life will shine not with perfection, but with presence, the presence of grace, of healing, of divine favor. And let me tell you this, there is no expiration date on restoration. You have not missed your moment. You have not run out of chances. You are not too old, too late, too broken, too anything. As long as there is breath in your body, there is time for God to do something new, something extraordinary, something that makes people look at you and say, only God. You don't need to understand the how. Just trust the who. The one who kept you through your darkest nights, the one who whispered, hold on, when letting go seemed easier. That one is still working, still moving, still orchestrating a restoration that will leave you breathless. When you see others being blessed, don't let envy take root. Their time is not your timeline. Their blessing is not your blueprint. Your restoration is uniquely yours, tailored to your journey, your wounds, your destiny. It cannot be rushed. It cannot be stolen. It will arrive exactly when it's supposed to, and it will fit you perfectly. You may feel empty now, but you are only being cleared out to be filled with something greater. Your brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning. God is in the business of rebuilding. He uses shattered pieces to make stained glass windows. He takes ruins and makes cathedrals. He takes weeping and turns it into wisdom. Do not be afraid to start again. Begin where you are with what you have. Restoration starts in the smallest of steps. A breath, a prayer, a moment of gratitude in the middle of chaos. Speak life into your dry bones. Declare healing over your hurt places. You are not powerless. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. You are not waiting on restoration to come to you. It is already rising within you. When you walk through the doors of your new season, walk boldly. Not arrogantly, but confidently. Confidently. Because you know what it cost you to get there. You know the nights you cried, the prayers you whispered, the strength it took just to survive. So when restoration comes, and it will honor the journey, honor the strength it took, and honor the one who brought you through. The world may call it luck. They may say you got a break, but you'll know it was divine, that every open door was carved by holy hands, that every new blessing was a reflection of old faith, that you didn't earn it by being perfect. You received it by being faithful. So stand tall, shoulders back, head lifted, not in pride, but in praise. Because restoration is not just a return to what you lost, it is a rise into who you are becoming. You are stepping into a season where the pain of your past fuels the power of your present, where your sorrow is turned into sacred strength, where your name is no longer associated with struggle, but with glory. You will no longer be identified by your lowest moment. You will be known by your comeback, either healing by your joy. By your joy, people will ask you, how did you survive? And you will say, grace. You will say, because God was not done with me yet. And that testimony will be a lighthouse for others walking in the dark. So don't give up. Not now, not when restoration is so near. Not when you're on the edge of something beautiful. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Keep your heart open. Keep showing up for your life. What you've lost is nothing compared to what's coming. And when it arrives, you will be able to say it was worth it. Every step, every tear, every silence. God will restore all you have lost, not in part, but in full. And not just to the measure of your imagination, but to the abundance of his glory. You will not recognize the life he has prepared for you. Not because it will be foreign, but because it will feel like home. The kind of home your soul has longed for. So rest, beloved, to be. Restoration is not something you earn. It is something you receive. And as surely as the sun rises after the darkest night, so too will your life rise. Brilliant, bold, beautifully whole. You have not been forgotten. You have not been forsaken. That restoration is coming. And when it does, the world will witness what happens when grace touches grief, when heaven kisses hurt, and when God restores not just what was lost, but the very soul that lost it. There is a sacred hush in the moment just before dawn breaks. The stars still hold their post, the earth still trembles with sleep, and the sky is heavy with the weight of promise. That moment, hushed and holy, mirrors the place you are in now. It is the in-between, the aftershock of pain, the quiet before restoration. And though the silence feels like abandonment, it is in truth the breath before breakthrough. The world may measure success in numbers and visibility, but heaven measures it in endurance and faith. You are still standing, still hoping, still believing. You are already victorious. You who have kept showing up to life despite the cracks in your soul, you are stronger than you know. Because strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet refusal to give in, the whispered, you may think you've been walking alone through this desert, but if you stop and listen, you will hear it. The footsteps beside you, the ones you did not see, the ones that carried you when your legs gave out, the divine footprints that never left your side. You were never alone, not for a second. Even when your prayers felt like echoes, even when your tears hit the floor in solitude, heaven was present, watching with you, gathering every drop of sorrow for the harvest that is to come. God is not hurried by time, but he is always on time. And his timing is not designed for your comfort, but for your completion. He sees the full tapestry while we only clutch frayed threads. What feels like the unraveling may be the beginning of the weave. What looks like loss may be the first stitch in a greater glory. So hold on, not to what was, but to what is being formed in you. There will be moments in the restoration process where your progress feels invisible. You'll look around and wonder if anything is changing. But just as seeds grow in silence, there's healing. You don't see the roots growing beneath the soil, but they are anchoring you, fortifying you, readying you for the weight of your own revival. You are being prepared to hold what you once could not. You are being molded to withstand the joy and responsibility of your new season. Restoration is not simply God giving you things. It is God giving you you, the version of yourself that trauma buried, the part of you that fear silenced, the joy that disappointment tried to steal. He is restoring your laughter, not just your livelihood, your courage, not just your circumstances. The tender parts of your heart that learned to harden just to survive, those too are being restored. This healing may not look how you expect. It may not arrive wrapped in the form of the person who left, or the job you lost, or the place you used to call home. It may not look like anything you once knew, and that's okay, because restoration is not about getting back what was. It's about receiving what was always meant to be. There is something sacred about rising from ruin. The world may see ashes, but heaven sees the makings of glory. And you Yes, you are becoming radiant. You are learning the language of the unbreakable, the dialect of endurance. You are embodying a quiet kind of wisdom that comes only from walking through fire, still choosing love, still choosing hope. You will find that as you heal, your perception changes. What once broke you will no longer bind you. What once triggered your tears will now birth your testimony. You will look back on the things that tried to destroy you, and you will not feel fear. You will feel power. Because they did not win. You did. You are the walking, breathing result of resilience. You are the miracle. You may feel behind in life. You may see others dancing in blessings while you sit in silence, wondering if your turn will come. Let me tell you, God's plan for you has never been delayed. It is not on hold. It is being curated with divine detail. While you wait, he works, and when it arrives, it will be worth every second you spent in the wilderness. Some people will not understand your restoration. They will see the outcome, but not the process. They will see the joy, but not the agony that preceded it. Do not waste your breath trying to make them understand. Your healing is between you and the one who held you when no one else could. You owe no one an explanation for your glow up. You only owe God your gratitude. And when the doors begin to open, walk through them without apology. Do not downplay your joy to make others comfortable. Do not shrink to fit the mold of who you once were. You are not that person anymore. You are not the same as the one who was broken. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Walk in that. You may be surprised by the way God restores. Sometimes it will come in laughter you didn't think you could feel again. Sometimes in friendships that speak life into the places where silence once lived. Sometimes it will come in the softest moments, in the smile of a stranger, the quiet breeze that brushes your skin like a divine reminder, the sudden calm in your chest where anxiety once roared. These are all signs that your restoration has begun. Allow yourself to receive without suspicion. You have been through much and trust may feel foreign, but don't let your pain become your lens. Let love surprise you. Let grace overwhelm your logic. Let joy sneak up on you and wrap its arms around you like an old friend. You deserve it, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. You are not defined by the chapters you didn't write. You are not trapped in the moments that hurt you. You are not tethered to the ones who left. You are free. And in that freedom, there is space for new beginnings, space for laughter, space for love to return, fuller and more faithful. Space for your soul to breathe. Do not be afraid to hope again. I know hope has disappointed you before. I know it feels like a risk. But let me tell you something sacred. Hope is not naive. Hope is not weak. Hope is not weak. Hope is brave. It is the warrior in your chest that says, I try again when everything in you wants to quit. Hope is holy. And when restoration comes, you will not only feel healed, you will become a healer. Your story will become a lifeline for someone else. The same way you once searched for signs of survival, you will become that sign. The way you rise, the way you speak with softness and strength, the way you carry your scars without shame, it will tell others you can make it too. So stand firm. Let your scars breathe. Let your story unfold. You do not need to force anything. What is for you cannot miss you. The restoration is not a far off wish. It is in motion. It is chasing you down. It is woven into your breath, into the ground you walk, into the spaces you fill. You will not be empty forever. The day will come when your arms are full again of purpose, of peace, of people who pour into you the way you once poured into others. It has wisdom written in tears and joy that runs deep. It has grace in its gait and fire in its voice. This version has walked through the dark and found the light again. This version knows what it means to lose, but also what it means to rise. Let people say what they want. Let them wonder how you're still standing. Let them question how you could still be smiling after all you've been through. You don't owe them your story unless you choose to share it. But know this, your life is already a sermon. It speaks of survival. It sings of redemption. It declares that the God who sees in secret also restores in public. There is no need to strive for what is already promised. Rest in the knowing that what's meant for you is finding its way to you. Every closed door, every detour, every delay, they were not punishments, but preparations. And now the tide is turning. The winds are shifting. You will soon step into spaces that were designed with your name written across them in invisible ink. No one else could fill them because they were yours all along. And you'll find that in your restored state, you are not drawn to the same things.
true.
Yoink it. What once fascinated you may no longer feed you. What once appealed to your insecurities will now repel you. You'll seek truth, not noise. Depth, not drama. You'll crave peace over popularity, purpose over approval. This is the fruit of restoration, discernment, contentment, and sacred alignment. People may not recognize you anymore, and that's okay. Restoration has a way of reshaping not just your circumstances, but your entire being. You will walk differently, speak differently, love differently, and it may make others uncomfortable. Let it. You didn't come this far to shrink yourself back into places that no longer honor you. Your time of mourning is ending, not because what you lost didn't matter, but because what is coming will outweigh it. The beauty ahead will not erase the pain behind, it will redeem it. It will give meaning to the madness. It will make you say, if I had to go through that to get here, it was worth it. And when restoration is complete, not perfect, but full, you will have more than you asked for, not just in quantity, but in quality, deeper love, truer friendships, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, a joy that isn't shaken by storms, and above all, a relationship with the divine that has been forged in the fires of your journey. There will be quiet mornings when you sip your coffee and feel no ache in your chest. There will be nights when you lay your head down and sleep comes without sorrow. There will be days when you catch your reflection and smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you are at peace with your path. That is restoration. That is holy healing. And when others come to you broken in the same ways you once were, you will know exactly what to say. Not because you read it in a book, but because you lived it. Because you remember what it was like to need a hand, a word, a sign. You will become that sign. Not just a survivor, but a light bearer. You were never forgotten, never overlooked, never abandoned. You were being prepared. And now the season of return is upon you. What you thought was gone forever is coming back in new form, better form, more divine than you could dream. You will be restored. Not just to where you were, but to where you're meant to be. You will not be bitter. You will not be broken. You will not be bound to the narrative of pain. You will rise as a witness to the power of love that never lets go, the love that restores, the love that remembers you by name. You are the miracle. You are the masterpiece in progress. And soon the world will see not just what you've endured, but what you've become. The story is not over. It's only just beginning. And now, beloved soul, stand still for a moment and breathe. You've come through storms that tried to claim you, losses that nearly silenced you, and nights so dark you forgot the sound of your own hope. But here you are, still breathing, still becoming, still believing. That is no small thing. That is evidence of restoration already at work. The hands of heaven have not forgotten you. They are lifting you higher, molding you stronger, blessing you deeper than ever before. What you lost will be returned, not in the same form, but in a greater glory. Peace will flood where pain once dwelled. Joy will spring from the cracked sorrow left behind. Love will come, not to break you, but to build with you. So walk forward with grace in your stride and fire in your soul. You are not what you've lost. You are what you are rising into. Restoration is here. Your story is shifting. Your best days are not behind you. They are being written now in light and love. Trust it, embrace it, and never forget what God restores, He makes more beautiful than it ever was before. You are living proof. Now go live like it.